We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fair to say. Can't breathe in sunlight.
Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here. Welcome back to Changeling. We had some crazy party last night. Kidding, there's no party, we just sleepwalked. And our brother Spencer was all dressed up for the whole happening, and we don't know why. But I'm assuming he was gonna save us, whether he likes us or not. Or at least until I get my own car. Fortunately, she lived in the same neighborhood, so it wouldn't really be an inconvenience for her to stop by. The only drawback was that she usually had to leave early because she did extra credit work in the office. It was mostly just filing and such, but it meant she had to be there quite a bit before class started. I was just talking about Allie, which meant I would have to loiter around the school with nothing to do for a little over half an hour. I wasn't going to clean though, it could have been worse. I had to admit I was kind of annoyed Spencer basically won. He wouldn't have to drive me to school or put up with being anywhere near me anymore. But then Dad informed us that Spencer had lost car privileges for the next month. Dad would pick him up after school and drive him to the showroom for work, and the poor guy would have to catch the bus every morning. To add insult to the injury, the car would sit unused the entire time, since I'd be riding with Allie. She's not going to be using it. She's not even going to be using it. Too bad you left her at school on purpose. I don't think you deserve to drive that car. I'm already going to be working for you for a month. Wait, what's my dad does? Like his own business? I didn't know that. Oh wait, yeah, because grandpa. And doing all her chores. I get it. I'm sorry, I just had a bad day. That's not an excuse to leave your sister crying in the parking lot. They were already at it when I went downstairs. I tried to ignore the fight as I ate breakfast. It wasn't easy, especially with the look Spencer kept giving me. He could not expect me to feel sorry for him. There was absolutely no way I would feel sorry for him. I mean, he was my brother, and he was already being punished. Ugh. I tried to ignore the part of me that wanted to defend him. No, he left me. I'm not. Hell no, I ain't defending him. I mean, the punishment was kind of harsh, but to be honest, kind of loved it. Yeah, sue me, he deserved it this time. Maybe it would shake him up enough that he'd deal with his issues and start treating me like a fellow human being again. If he wanted to be mad at me forever, fine, but maybe now he wouldn't go out of his way to be mean to me. Or hey, he could have maybe even tried to work things out like a normal person. Besides, I'd had a bad day too, and a sizable portion of my bad day was because of him. I was just rinsing my breakfast dishes when I heard Allie honking. Moments later, I ran out the door and still trying to pull on my jacket. So, I was thinking, a dangerous pastime? No, I'm not playing. Oh, anyways, I was thinking that you should join my club, the one you were at yesterday. Man, it's so much nicer to ride with someone who isn't ignoring me. Yep, there are only a few girls in it. The only one who really shows up frequently is, well, it's kind of a bit of catty? Oh god, don't tell me it's Kara. No. So you want me to join a club and deal with other catty girls? I want you to keep me company. You'd fit in. Great. Give it a try, please. In any case, if you were waiting for me to finish up every day, you might as well just join it instead of sitting around. Okay, that's a fair point. What is this club anyway? Paranormal Mysteries Club. I stared at her. The first things that came to mind when I thought of the paranormal were UFOs, phone psychics, and those cheesy websites with articles about Atlantis and dinosaurs living in the Amazon. Really? It's actually really fun. I eyed her skeptically. I was sure it was fun if you were into that kind of thing, but I couldn't imagine her believing that stuff. So what, you research Bigfoot or something? Do ghost hunts? Look for aliens? Well, not exactly, but you'll find out if you stop by. I promise you'll have fun. Oh, those two guys who live next door to? Ellie and Danny? They're both in it. Seriously, I didn't think either of them would be into that sort of thing. I tried to imagine Danny getting excited over blurry videos of someone in an ape suit. It didn't compute. You'd be surprised. Just think about it, okay? It might not hurt to give it a try, I guess. Allie let out her characteristic squeal of excitement. It would be really annoying if it wasn't so completely adorable. When we reached the school, Allie went to help in the office. I decided to stop by my locker before going to the library to read for a while. It was definitely still pretty early. There was almost no one around as I opened my locker door to grab my trig and chemistry books. I really hoped that things would go more smoothly than the day before. Yesterday morning had only been okay because the stories hadn't spread that far yet, but by now, everyone had heard of them. That sigh in my ears scared me. I heard a soft sigh and turned around immediately, expecting to see someone behind me waiting for me to get out of their way. There was no one there. Bitch, what? I looked up and down the hall, but there was no one in sight. What the hell? Where'd that come from then? Okay, that was weird. I definitely heard something chewing my lip. I shut my locker door, still listening. Maybe it was a draft of some kind that sounded like a man, but it really had sounded like a person. I shook my head and took a deep breath. It was probably just my imagination. I was on edge because of yesterday and last night, that was all. I headed for the school library. I wonder what sorts of things they really do in the Paranormal Mysteries Club. Allie had said it was fun. When I got to the librarian was nowhere to be found, so I hid in a corner and ran until the first bell rang. After that, I basically spent the morning thinking about Allie's club. She said Danny and Elliot were in it, but I didn't sit close enough to either of them in literature to ask about it. The only interesting thing about Trig was Corbin managing to fall into a knee-high wastebasket. Chemistry was boring. Everyone quickly realized Spencer would not engage, which meant they directed all questions at me, so I told them I'd been kidnapped by Bigfoot and Elvis. I couldn't wait until that rumor got around the school, and I really hope Kara enjoyed it. As soon as I reached the cafeteria, Danny ambushed me and insisted I have lunch with this group, since it was better than eating alone. I didn't argue. Elliot was already waving at us from a table across the room, which made it even more impossible to say no. Danny led me over to where he and a few others were sitting. So, everyone, this is Michiko. I shifted uncomfortably as all the eyes were settling on me. Oh, the new girl everyone's talking about. Well, she is new anyway. You sitting here today, Michiko? Looks like it. I was relieved that no one argued. They just moved their chairs around so I could sit sandwiched between Danny and Elliot. So, how do you know Danny? Well, you see, he threw a football at me. I looked over at the girl talking. I had no idea what her name was, but she had a nice smile. Well, I moved next door. Oh, so you're neighbors then? I nodded. Yep, that's what moving next door meant pretty much. He's charming right over here. Wait, can you guys see him? No, he cannot. Let me move my webcam real quick. Look at him. He is so charming. Okay, sorry. Covering your face, charming boy. The boy who spoke leaned across the table and grinned. So all the things people are saying about you, are they true? James, come on, man. I was just asking. It's fine. And like I've told everyone so far, no, most of the things being said are speculated or speculated are not true. I really did get lost in the woods. I really don't remember it. My brother really was attacked by what we think was probably a cougar or something while out looking for me. Yes, he injured one of his eyes. No, they're not sure how. It's actually nowhere near as mysterious as people try to make it out to be. It was just sensationalized at the time. All that happened was that I got lost and Spencer somehow hurt his eye. So you really didn't see a murder in the woods? Reina, I think that's about as likely as encountering Sasquatch. Maybe it was a serial killing Sasquatch. I liked her. Well, aliens are also a popular theory. Serial killing alien Sasquatch? Now that's just crazy talk. Everyone laughed and I was just relieved their conversation didn't seem like it was going to be the usual interrogation. Oh, Elliot man. I read about something yesterday that your club totally should investigate. Oh? Bat Squatch. Bat Squatch? You know, like giant bats?
Bitch, what?
He gestured wildly as he started explaining this supposed creature to Elliot. I tuned him out and turned to Danny. So, I didn't see Allie anywhere. I didn't see her yesterday either. Do you know if she eats somewhere else? Allie? Well, yeah, I don't think she eats in the cafeteria. Oh, I see. That was disappointing. I guess it meant I couldn't have lunch with her. I wonder where she did eat. Maybe with the teachers or something. Though I couldn't imagine that would be fun. But even if she wasn't around, Danny's friends weren't too bad. They were rowdy but really nice. I didn't usually like crowds much, but after yesterday, it was a nice change of pace to be surrounded by friendly people. Speaking of the club, Allie mentioned she invited you to join it. Oh, yeah, well, haven't made your mind up about it? Well, I mean, sounds like just a club of conspiracy theories or stuff like that. I glanced back at James dubiously as he tried to convince Elliot that Basquatch was a viable topic of study for the club. Do you really study things like that? Danny just laughed. No, not really. We do look into the paranormal, but I suppose it's a little more mainstream than Mad Squatch. Mainstream, hmm? I wonder if it was more along the lines of ghosts and ESP instead of UFOs, unlikely mammals. There are a lot of stories that have much more solid foundation beneath them than Bat Squatch. You don't think that maybe some folklore has a seed of truth to it? I guess it depends on the folklore. I mean, if you take something like the vampires of Europe, a lot of people think that certain historical figures might have inspired some of those tales with their less than savory behavior. But if you're suggesting that the seed of truth is supernatural in origin, I'm not sure about that. But it does make for a potential interesting study topic, right? I suppose it might. If Allie invited you, then you should consider taking her up on it. It might be nice to have a new member. No, seriously, we'd love to have a new member. Hey, that's not fair. I tried to join too, you know. And your president kept avoiding me until I finally ended up joining something else. And now my schedule's too full. I thought you didn't join because the club room creeped you out. But that's not it. I mean, it is kind of creepy though. I didn't even think the Mysteries Club accepted new members. Everyone I know who thought about joining ended up not doing it. We take new members sometimes. I think people often just decide they don't have time for it. Huh, now they're making me kind of curious. And Danny's description actually did sound kind of interesting, at the very least. It was different than what I first imagined. I mulled it over for the rest of lunch, wondering what kind of club it really was. By the time school let out, I was actually in a pretty good mood. As a bonus, that they had only had a few mildly annoying moments as opposed to the whole thing basically sucking. I was relieved by that for sure. Allie showed up at my class to get me, waiting by the door while I shoved all my stuff in my book bag. We made a quick pit stop by my locker before she insisted on taking me to the 4th floor to see the club. I remember the club. I remember the demo ending at the club. So, we're still not there yet, so hopefully maybe I can get to the point where the demo ended and pick up where we left off on the demo. So, did you make up your mind yet? I mean, about trying out the club? You will, right? Well, I mean, you're kind of hurting me that way regardless. Yep, it's not like you to have anything else to do. That's true. I'll just take a peek, okay? Alright, I'm sure you'll like it. At the bottom of the stairs, I paused and looked up. I'd been to the 2nd and 3rd floors, but never the 4th. I'd heard it was just a bunch of empty classes. Even when I was here in middle school, everyone had said it was haunted. We started up together. Are all high school clubs up on the 4th floor? No, there are only about 5 others besides us. A lot of people prefer to use classrooms on the lower floors. Apparently, it's creepy up here. I have heard that. I mean, it's pretty dark. Why is the lights not on? I stopped at the top of the stairs, shivering slightly as I looked down the long hallway. It looked just like the ones downstairs, but I had to admit the atmosphere was different. Maybe it was because most of the lights were off. Or maybe the air was just stuffy because no one really used the space much. It really did feel different, though. Come on! Alex took my arm and pulled me down the hall toward one of the open classrooms. I stopped outside and peered in. No one else was there. The club room itself looked pretty boring, actually. I was surprised, especially after hearing how creepy people found it. Instead, it just looked like a really normal empty classroom. It wasn't creepy at all. It looks kind of mundane, right? Why'd you gotta scare me like that? Out of nowhere, Alec practically shoved me through the door, and something happened. What? So, what do you think? What? It looks what? Looks a lot bigger when you're inside, doesn't it? I stared at her slack-jawed. She had the most infuriatingly smug look on her face. Bigger? Yeah, it looks bigger and completely different. Where did all this stuff come from? I looked at the hallway. It looked as normal as ever, but the classroom was now brimming with furniture and decorations that had definitely not been in there when I first looked in. I rubbed at my eyes, though I'm not sure what I expected that to do. Was I dreaming? No, I mean, obviously I wasn't. But how? I shook my head and walked back out into the hallway. It looks totally normal from out here, and... Allie? I couldn't see her anymore either. I burst back into the classroom. There she was again, along with the decor and furniture. Whoa, I don't understand. What's going on? My head was spinning as I tried to work this out. Mirrors or something. It had to be mirrors or something, right? I knew you were one of us. One of us? She grabbed my hand, squeezed them, grinning at me happily. Whoa, back up. One of us what? A paranormal. Or a cryptic. Some refer to us as supernaturals as well. Mark? You sound uncertain. Hi, pretty boy. Wait, had he been there the whole time? He was standing in the corner by a large bookshelf, a book in hand as he glared at me with the usual disdain. No, I know it's you. I just have no clue what's going on here. He shot Allie a strange-looking, huffed and annoyed sigh, and as he snapped the book shut. She's probably still awakening, but I mean, she's obviously one of us. She's here, right? If she wasn't one of us, she wouldn't be able to see the club room. I studied Allie worriedly. Allie, you're kind of starting to creep me out. Why do you keep saying one of us? Like I've just been inducted into some sort of creepy cult. Also paranormal? Cryptic? Okay, calm down. Take some deep breaths before your blood pressure gets dangerously high. I know this is confusing, but I can explain. Very amusing. I don't want to take deep breaths. I want to know what's going on. Okay, well, you're a logical person. Just put two and two together. Clearly, this isn't a normal classroom, right? Well, yeah. There are two possible ways to explain what you've experienced. Science or magic, right? Science wasn't my forte, but for sure. But magic? I think I need to sit down. Allie held me to near sofa and Mark produced a glass of water from somewhere. For all I knew, he pulled it out of a hat. My head was spinning like crazy. Magic. Allie was not trying to tell me that this was some kind of magic room, was she? Or even before that, was she trying to tell me that magic was real? Feeling better? Not really. Allie just laughed. I glared at her. This was not a laughing matter. I was having a crisis. Are you telling me that magic is a thing? A real thing? A thing that actually exists in a real practical way? Yes. And this room is magical. Yep. And I'm magical? Most likely. I stared at the door. I could see the hallway outside. It looked perfectly normal. There was nothing near the door that could explain what happened when I entered. No visible mirrors, cameras, or projectors. Heck, I couldn't even come up with a way it would be possible to do something like that with projectors and cameras. I took a deep breath and let it out slowly. At lunch, someone said that this club doesn't take new members much. This is a club specifically for the supernatural members of the student body. Obviously, normal humans can't be permitted to enter. Typical humans can't see this room, not as it is. As you notice from the outside, it looks like a normal empty classroom. From the inside, it still looks like a normal empty classroom to normal people. In fact, the spell on this place actually reposes normal people, so they don't even want to enter it. A spell, like a magic spell. Yep. This is how Alice felt when she fell down the rabbit hole. Actually, I was pretty sure Alice handled that way better than I was handling this. I took a deep breath as I listened to Allie's expression. The spell is designed to protect the club from discovery. It can alter memories, perception, or even the room's location if it needs to. All toward that end? Yeah. I was still trying to get my head around this. I mean, logically, I knew none of this could be true, but here was Allie, someone I trusted and knew was down to earth, and she was telling me that this was real. And maybe it was a prank, but I really didn't think Mark was the sort to play pranks. Based on our meeting the previous day, I was almost certain he didn't have a sense of humor, and Allie wouldn't do something like this to me, not today. I looked up at her and she patted my hand gently. So, I can see this room because I'm not normal. That's correct. What about you? Well, I'm a witch, the magic-using kind. I tilted my head slightly. Oh, okay. I actually hadn't expected that answer. Not sure what I did expect, though. Okay, let's assume for a moment that instead of thinking you're just insane, I believe you. How did you know I was a... what did you say? Cryptid? I mean, you invited me to the club this morning, so you already knew, right? Cryptic is the word you're looking for. We're not animals. Cryptids are creatures that can't be proven with science. Cryptic is just... I hope I'm saying that right. It's just a name some people adopted for us. It's shorter than saying paranormal or supernatural, so a lot of us go with it. And I was really hoping it would get to the point of the demo that I last encountered, but it didn't. So we're just gonna end for here for today because we're way over time as per usual. But again, I love playing this game, so I don't care if it's that long of like duration of videos each episode. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
조금 어렵겠지만 언제라도 난 여기 서 있어 편하게 생각해도 돼 'Cause I'm yours